Days turned into weeks as Amina and Kofi worked together to rebuild their relationship. It wasn't easy. There were moments of tension, moments where the past seemed impossible to forget. But Amina had made a choice to try, to understand, and to move forward with Kofi. Slowly, they began to talk more openly, sharing pieces of themselves that had remained hidden for far too long. Kofi was more patient than she had ever known him to be. He would sit with her for hours, explaining his life, his choices, and the reason he had hidden his wealth. He spoke of how he had come from a family of great fortune, but how, from a young age, he had wanted to live a life free from the expectations that came with it. He didn't want to be defined by money, and he didn't want others to see him only for his wealth. He had chosen the simple life of a farmer to escape the constraints of his family's legacy. "I know it doesn't make sense," Kofi had said one evening, his voice tinged with regret. "But I didn't know how to make it work. I was afraid of losing myself, afraid that if I lived the life others expected of me, I would become someone I didn't recognize. And I didn't want you to marry me because of what I had. I wanted you to marry me because of who I am." Amina listened, her heart softening with each word. She understood, in a way, the burden he had carried. But there were still parts of him, parts of their relationship, that felt incomplete, unresolved. One afternoon, as they walked through the village together, Amina noticed that the villagers had begun to act differently toward her. They looked at her with curiosity, whispering behind their hands, their eyes filled with questions. She had heard rumors, whispers about her marriage to Kofi, about the man she had married who was not what he seemed. Some of the villagers had begun to wonder if she had known all along about Kofi's true wealth. Some even questioned whether she had married him for his fortune. The gossip stung. It was as if the trust she had worked so hard to rebuild was crumbling around her. Amina felt her confidence falter. She didn't want to be the subject of village talk. She didn't want her marriage to be reduced to a rumor or a scandal. That evening, she sat quietly by the fire, her thoughts consumed by the weight of the villagers' opinions. Kofi, sensing her unease, sat beside her. "Amina, what's wrong?" "They're talking about us, Kofi," she replied, her voice heavy with frustration. "The villagers, they don't understand. They're saying things about me, about us. It feels like everything we've worked for is being torn apart by their gossip."